as Texans fans, I know you guys probably don't want to accept this, but the Jaguars are the real deal. They're the best team in the AFC South by far, and quite frankly, I think right now they're the best team in the AFC. The Patriots just lost to the Dolphins this week, and the Steelers have been kind of not that impressive. And these Jaguars marched right into Pittsburgh earlier this year and demolished the Steelers. Big Ben threw 5 picks. I mean, it was pathetic, really. I mean, that people consider the Steelers a legitimate threat to the Patriots, but not the Jaguars. This team is really surprising because I knew Doug Marrone was a good hire, but I didn't expect him to get going this season. I expected him to get going next season. I thought this season was going to be, like a 7-9, 8-8 type season, and the next season was going to be the season where they put everything together and get going. Anyways, the Jaguars. Their offense, it averages 25.3 points per game, which is 7th in the league. On average, they get 360.8 yards per game, which is 11th. Passing wise, they have an average of 210.8 passing yards per game, 18th in the league, and they're first in rushing yards per game with 150, which really 149.9, but it's pretty much 150. I think Blake Bortles has had a pretty good season. A lot of people criticize Bortles, and I'm one of them. I don't think Bortles is a good quarterback, but you got to give credit where credit is due. And this season, he's the best quarterback in the AFC South if you don't count Deshaun Watson. I mean, Savage has been bad. Mariota has been ugh. Jacoby Brissett we already know is bad. So currently in the AFC South, Blake Bortles is the best quarterback. The receivers, of course, Adam Hearns, what's his name? Marquise Lee, Keenan Cole, Day Westbrook, even Leonard Fournette to some extent gets some receptions every now and then. Like they still got the weapons. Yes, Allen Robinson went down in the first game of the season, but they still got some weapons that can be dangerous. The offensive line is obviously good enough because Leonard Fournette's one of the better running backs in the league right now. And the Jaguars have the top rushing attack in the NFL right now, so you gotta give credit where it's due, and this Jaguars offense isn't as incompetent as many people thought they would be, and Blake Bortles is not as bad as some people think this season. Yes, I do think if, the game is on the line, I don't trust Blake Bortles to make the plays to win the game, but what Doug Marrone does, he just manages the game to where Blake Bortles doesn't have to have the ball in his hands so much, to where Blake Bortles can't lose you the game because he doesn't touch the ball enough to do so. This team is built defensively, and the offense goes to Leonard Fournette. It's really that simple when it comes to their offense. You stop Leonard Fournette, don't turn the ball over, and try to make Blake Bortles beat you. That's pretty much the winning formula when it comes to beating these Jaguars. But it hasn't really been successful this season by many teams. Now, what I really want to talk about is their defense. God, dude, I like their defense, man. Like, the D-line, when I first initially made a video about the Jaguars, I kind of underrated their D-line. I was expecting Calais Campbell to, just be an old, washed-up man, but he's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate this year, man. The guy's a beast. Yannick Ngakoue also is coming into his own, both with double-digit sacks, and of course they got Fowler and Malik Jackson there as well, and of course Marcel Darius. Like, this D-line is stacked. It's scary, but the thing about it is defensive line. Yes, they're good against, they're good at getting pressure on quarterbacks, obviously, because, 47 sacks on the season. But 20 of them came against the Texans and the Colts. But regardless, man, you gotta give credit where it's due. But run stopping wise, they allow an average of 117 rushing yards per game, which is 22nd in the league. So if there is a weakness to this defense, it's, you know, the run defense. That pass defense, though, yeah, first in the league with 174.2 average passing yards allowed per game. And, you know, it's a combination of the linebackers and the corners. I mean, Jalen Ramsey, Boye shut pretty much everyone down. And to make things worse, if you think you have yourself a good tight end, that doesn't matter, because they have Tobin Smith and Miles Jack. They can cover. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a top of the line tight end. Jaguars will shut him down too. So this defense is all around solid. I do not see a weak spot in this defense, maybe besides Paul Posluszny, who at this point is just an old man, and maybe the safeties to some extent aren't as good as everyone else in this defense. But yeah, man, this defense is legit, and many people are overlooking these Jaguars when it comes to the playoffs. I think these Jaguars can beat the Steelers. They have already done so. The Titans are a fluke. The Chargers are really the only team I can see for sure being able to beat the Jaguars. Maybe the Patriots with Brady, but Brady has struggled. They don't have an offensive line, and they have the secondary to harass Brady. Like, they can harass Brady. Once you harass Brady, man, you pretty much beat the Patriots, and the Patriots don't have the defense good enough to stop these Jaguars, man. So these Jaguars, don't be surprised, man, if these guys make a Super Bowl run, and you know what? It sucks. I don't want to say it, but again, I try to be as realistic as possible with you guys, and that's just the reality of it, man. These Jaguars are legit. Maybe when Deshaun Watson comes back next season, it's gonna be harder for them, but as of right now, the AFC looks wide open for the Steelers, the Patriots, and the Jaguars. Maybe the Chargers to some extent, but it's anyone's game, man. The Jaguars are in that game, so that's pretty much all I have to say about these Jaguars. So with that being said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.